welcome back to Dicey Shores, where RPG dice determine my path to progressing through brighter shores. Where we last left off, we just hit a clean 110, and I am socializing with gamers. Except I can't tell when they leave the room. Yeah, this is one of those situations where an area chat or a profession chat would be dope. But looking again at the old spreadsheet, we're soft locked out of a few skills here. Chef being locked behind gatherer, fisher being locked behind forager, and carpenter locked behind woodcutter. A nice little selection. It looks like 2 skills per episode, which is pretty comfy. So can't be mad about that, but until we roll, we won't know where we're going. So without further ado, that's an 8. So that's carpenter, which we currently cannot do. That's a 5, which is alchemist, which we can now do. Pretty sick. So that being said, it sounds like some ingredient collecting is ahead of us. So I'm going to go deposit these logs, and then I will see you in Hopeport. Okay, so we are now able to pick up these little guys, and that does give us the album experience, I should say. We only need 7, so we shouldn't get a level off of this. But, well, as far as say it with me, say the line. If my math is correct, we only need 7. Hey, look at this guy. Hecklerin. Fisherman dude. That's interesting. So you can't... Wait, so check that out. The little quest thing is above his head, and then it disappears when you're in the middle of gathering. I've never noticed that. Interesting. So, yeah. We should... Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by, like, really, really minor things like that. So... Just need 1 more starfish, and then we should be good to make these potions, which still does not feel real. But yeah, if I've done my math correct, it should just be 7 here. So the way that the wiki breaks this up here, they're saying 79 experience, but 132 total. I believe what that refers to is... you get experience for chopping the ingredients up, like prepping them, and then you get experience for creating the potion. So we're going to see if that is accurate. I based this math over the 132 total. And like we've said in the past, if we go over on some of these ingredients, that's fine. It didn't get us a new level. We're always going to try and be as close to accurate as possible. Okay, so 53 is not the number on the wiki. But that being said, it might not be split directly in half. So 53, and then what do we get for making the potion? 79. Okay, so it's actually less than what the wiki says. So it's 79, 132 total. What does that mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? I think we should break, like, I don't know if it makes sense, but I wonder if we shouldn't break it up, the experience, like, requirements. It should be like, or the experience table here, it should be like, prep is this much, and then brew is this much. We are also going to need more bottles, which this is cool. I haven't mindlessly bought bottles on this account yet, but I'm pretty comfortable spending 2 silver at this point. So hopefully we've done this right. Yeah, I wonder if there's a better way to note how much experience this takes, because like I said, 79 is the halfway. So it would be 79 plus 53 3, which is 132 total. I'm so stupid. I thought, yeah, okay. Nope, everybody. At least I have it on record that I can't do math. I used to be quite good at math when I was doing it for school all the time. I don't know what happened. I grew up and my brain stopped working so good. I'm thinking 100. I'm thinking 79. You know what? I'm thinking 60 times 2 is... No. What am I thinking? I don't know. I thought 79 times 2 was 132. I'm wrong. Listen, we hit 9 alchemy. That's all that matters. We got an alchemy level. After all this time, we got an alchemy level. So that's pretty cool. Right. I'm going to move on before I make even more of a fool of myself. So what are we doing for level 112? Not carpenter. We can't do that. Alchemist, I guess. We spent so much time away from Alchemist that our dice just really want to rush toward that next level, I suppose. So let's work out how much we need for that. Gonna be pretty easy. It's 132 total, which we know is accurate, despite my best efforts to tell you it's not. 1294. So 1294 divided by 132. So that's 10 more of these potions. So I'm going to go get 10 starfish. I do believe we definitely have 10 lily here. Yeah, we do. Okay. So I'm going to go grab some more starfish and see you back here. Right. So the 10 starfish got us very close to another forager level. So we've definitely front loaded the grind on that a little bit. But that being said, that's all the starfish we're ever going to need. And we're going to have quite a lot of them ahead of us when we grind to 23 for the monument piece. So our next 5 grinds on forager are going to involve these guys, and we really don't need them anymore as far as I understand. So that being said, these 10 bowls of mush will get us to 10 alchemist. And is that? Yeah. That's base 10s in all Hopeport skills. After all this time, base 10s. Really cool to see. It's not a milestone by Cape standards, but it is a nice even number, and I love to see it. And with this last brew here, that's going to take us to 10 alchemist. Absolutely massive. So that's 40... plus 40 strength Tempest Day potions unlocked, which I'm actually going to take a quick look at this book right here. I know I can go on the wiki for this, but I actually don't know off the top of my head. Wow, okay, and swiftly, oh no. Oh, swiftly we are soft locked out of alchemy once again, and we will not be back to the alchemist for a while. That's level 41 forager that we need. Let me plug that into the spreadsheet. Oh, and just like that, our alchemist level, despite just getting 2 right off rip, or back to back rather, we are stuck. We are stuck at 10. That's okay. Wow. So we really, at this point, I keep saying we should switch to a D4, and I think I'm gonna finally do it. I think the dice results table is going to now become this. The more I look at it, the more clear it is. I will probably clean this up in post, but like realistically, I think this makes the most sense. So if we roll a 1, it's combat, a 2, it's forager, a 3, it's gatherer, and a 4, it's woodcutter. I think this is the next logical evolution of the results table. I think, oh, well, it would be if I didn't drop the D4, which is not the die that you really want to be dropping. It's kind of like stepping on a Lego, to be honest. Right, so let's get the die cam up, dice cam even, and let's roll. Okay, so that's a 3, so that is back to Gatherer. So, ooh, we're going to get ourselves to 20 Hope Forest, which is very cool. What are we collecting? Goat horns, which means we're going to need our hand rake. Yeah, so just reviewing my profession tracker list here. Yeah, so we need the hand rake grade 1, and we use that to get our crooked goat horns. Right, so we are in Timberwell Supplies, and we are going to get our grade 1 rake. There we go. So that is, so the next thing is level 48 sickle. So that's the last bit of equipment we need to worry about for a while. And then, yeah, so we need to, so the goat horns look to be up near the bears, which is weird to me. Does that imply that there were once goats there and the bears ate them? Because if so, this huntsman's got his work cut out for him. He's really got to be, I don't know. I'm inserting lore. I'm inserting somewhat cheeky, like tongue-in-cheek jokes. I don't really know what I'm saying right now. I'm just sort of riffing, you know. It's a long walk, and I got a lot of time to kill and riff. So, can we actually safely enter the two-headed bear clearing without getting clapped by the two-headed bear? If we can't, I'm just gonna poke my head in and get the map location for the goat horns. Oh god, you are an ugly bastard. I'm sorry. That was mean to the bear. Where are these goat horns? Oh, there they are. So, are we just allowed to be in here? This feels very dangerous. This feels very, like, intense. Can I just exist here? Can I just walk right up to this guy? Oh, I could just exist. That's cool. Yeah, why not just collect the goat horns here? This is a pretty badass backdrop. I'm just facing my fears. I'm facing down my greatest foe at the minute, which is this level 35 bear. But yeah, that's 5 Gatherer. Nice and easy on that. Look at how intense that is. Do you reckon he was two-headed before the corruption? Right, so that is 5 on there. So we are now level 20 Hope Forest, which is very exciting. And we're gonna do another roll. Oh god. Oh jeez. Okay, there we go. 4. So that's woodcutter. Great. Nice and easy again. Sticking with Hope Forest, getting us toward our next unlock of the juniper logs, which will re-unlock what's it called? Carpenter. And we've got a couple of different options for brambles. I'm going to opt for whatever ends up being nearest this portal stone. Brambles are great because they are so quick to grind out. Also, wait, I feel like I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, there's brambles down here. I thought so. Brambles are great because they are going to be so quick to grind out. These woodcutter levels are always going to be pretty much free for us. You don't really have to go anywhere. I believe it's one of the better ways to train woodcutter. I know a lot of people, when they're doing KP, tend to combine woodcutter with gatherer, so I don't know if people just do brambles on this, or just do woodcutter on brambles, but for our purposes, this is pretty mindless. It's pretty AFK, and yeah, I'm happy with it. There was a world where I toyed with the idea of I also realized I never checked this, so we're actually at 21 Hope Forest. I was just messing around with the spreadsheet there. At the very least, the game is correct. The spreadsheet was not. But yeah, like I toyed with the idea of having brambles be a passive grind so that we could use the shortcut. Like, yeah, it was never a fully formed thought, but basically, like, we only passively worked on woodcutter while we were in Hope Forest. When we were on a bramble level, ultimately it did not make any sense. It was not going to be doable. If we were rolling only on Hope Forest, I said Hopeport, I meant Hope Forest. If we were rolling only on Hope Forest, guaranteed, doing these two, Gatherer and Carpenter, and I suppose Combat, maybe it would have made sense, but I don't think it would have made sense. But yeah, that's level 9, Woodcutter, which puts us at 22 Hope Forest, which is the correct number this time, Rob. Well done. So, I've realized my mistake. Unless I roll Woodcutter again, I can't chop these. Oh no, I'm trapped. That's okay. That's what Portal Stones are for. Or we just roll Woodcutter again. That wouldn't be so bad. I would not be mad about that. Hey, there we go. We rolled Woodcutter again. That's amazing. Cool. So we are just going to keep doing this. Easy peasy. Right, 2 more of these brambles, and we will end what was one of the easier grinds that we've had to do. Oh, I should cancel that. There we go. And that is Coarse Juniper Logs unlocked, which means that when we tick this guy right here, we can now roll on Carpenter again. And I have amended the results table on the side here. Again, this is going to get cleaned up at some point, but I think this is the way that makes the most sense going forward. So, with that in mind, we are going to switch back to the D6, and we're just going to reroll on 6s. This is the original version that I envisioned all those episodes ago that I messed up immediately. But basically, our first 5 rolls are actually represented on this table. There is no D5 in my arsenal, so we are re-rolling on 6, which is exactly what we got. There we go, a 5. So we're sticking with Woodcutter. We are lumberjacking it up. Now, juniper trees all seem to be on the southern part of this map, the southeastern part of this map. I know at the very least I can't get beyond this point. So I don't remember if there's juniper trees down there. I don't remember what's at the end of this tree line trail. So, you know what? Let's discover it together. Okay, so we are in new territory. I don't remember what's down here. I did not spend a whole lot of time in the Hope Forest episode, if I'm being perfectly honest. I spent so much time grinding out those skills passively and only doing those quests. And so this is oh yeah, it's the ferry for the main quest. I remember this. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I think the rest of the juniper trees are down here and probably here. So we're gonna hang out in this little track and this tree line path, and tree line trail, tree line track, and grind out our next woodcutter level. Right, with these last 2 trees, that will put us at 11 woodcutter, which again, absolutely love that we've chained woodcutter levels, not only to unlock Carpenter again, but just to get more progress toward that main quest requirement. So we are back to D6, and let's see what we get. So 4 is Gatherer. Again, sticking around in Hope Forest. It's really no surprise. Combat technically does not progress toward Hope Forest itself. It does toward the combat requirement of the quests, but a majority of our dice rolls are going to keep us here, which is something that I am very happy with. I think I'm going to pop, just because I'm right next to the Carpenter's Workshop, I am going to pop these in the bank, and then I'll go back up to our friend, the Two-Headed Bear, and get us some more horns. Gotta say, this is one of the first grinds that I felt like I really need to make use of the Sense spell, because I am really having a hard time seeing where these goat horns are. I know I can see the nodes on the map, which is helpful. But yeah, I was like, there was a point where the one over here, I just clicked all over and I just could not find it. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I could just hit spacebar and just detect it, basically. Oh, look at this little window. Is this... Can you interact with it at all? That feels like it's going to be something at some point. That definitely feels like it's going to be related to one of the quests in Hope Forest, right? Is that just me? I don't know. In any case, that is level 6 Gatherer, which is one step closer to unlocking our next cooking grind, which is great. So, without further ado, let's go back over to the sheet. Oh, 25 Hope Forest. That looks so nice. Okay, and we are sticking with Woodcutter. We took a brief break from it, but it is back to chopping those junipers. I'm going to go deposit these horns because I have a feeling that we're going to need the inventory space. So I fully forgot about Bone Right. And I went to go deposit these bones at the Alchemist, and I'm realizing, oh god, do we have a bone bank? We have to, right? Like, that's gotta be a thing we have. Let's take a look. Bone bank. Bones bank, rather. Oh yeah, there is one in the Cutter's Clearing. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. So, shoot, where is that? Because yeah, like it would be, it wouldn't make much sense if, especially if you didn't have the premium pass, it wouldn't make much sense to not be able to bank these. Where on earth? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's up there. Great. And one more juniper log will do it. That is 12 woodcutter. Beautiful. So now we can chop down poplars, Pop-Tarts, Anyway, we can now chop down poplars, and which is great because, well, yes, no, that is great because when we eventually grind Carpenter more, we won't be soft locked. I was gonna say, oh no, we're soft locked again, but no, we are not. The opposite is true. So let's get another roll. Okay, so back to Hopeport for some forager, which currently, and I think for the time being, is going to be that starfish. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to deposit these logs. Well, am I? Yeah, because you know what? I might as well, because we're not going to need a lot of starfish to get the next level, just thanks to that alchemy grind before. But on the off chance we have to chain starfish, I'm going to be really annoyed if I didn't just bank these logs. So, yeah, I'm going to bank these. Yeah, this is going to be a very quick one, just because of how much we front-loaded the forager grind to get those 2 alchemy levels. So this last starfish should take us there, yep. And that is 19 forager. So wow, one away from where we can start getting passive unlocks in there. And again, the closer we are to 26, the closer we are to unlocking more Fisher levels. But let's see which skill is going to take us to 120 total. Okay, 2, Forager, and that is why I am happy I banked the logs, because we are just continuing the Starfish Trail. Beautiful. And this has been really like a progress-packed episode, just due to the fact that we have sort of like... It's as I said, when we're not grinding combat, I feel like the fact that the results table is so heavily Hope Forest, we're seeing that total level climb up real quick, which is nice. It'll be interesting to see when we have the full range of episodes unlocked, if that's even possible. I think it's possible. I'm fairly certain there's no grind that would be completely locked behind episode 5 coming out, but yeah, or another grind taking us there. I know the levels in Chronopolis get pretty high, but detective like level requirements, I should say, for completing Chronopolis quests get pretty high, but like by the time we're there, I'm happy with that. We can still work toward goals. But yeah, I don't know. That is all to say that I'm very happy with our progress in Hope Forest this episode, and a couple episodes ago. And the combat requirement for that bear fight, swiftly approaching, as grindy and as slow as combat can be for us currently. It's all worth it, you know? So once we are, this is one of those situations that we are so close to needing a knowledge point that I should probably just do it. I should just probably save it. I feel like this is the time to save it. Knowledge bar can't go above 200. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, I think we save this. Just so that we can pop it right in to the passive. That was the word I was looking for. Passive. But yeah, and that's what, the third level 20 on the account, with Chef and Woodcutter probably getting closest next. I say that we're gonna be locked out of Chef for a little bit longer. I think we'll probably hit Woodcutter next. I'm also realizing that my inventory is about to fill up, which is unfortunate. Again, the lack of storage rifts and the lack of that second teleport really just prolong this grind. But that being said, yeah, a lot of great progress made. Cannot complain about that. And keeping the Forager levels up, again, not only sort of safeguards some of the Alchemist grind in the future. Oh no, that's not true at all. That's actually not true. Currently, we're soft locked behind 41. I actually forgot that happened. Thank God it's on the sheet. But yeah, like it gets us toward unlocking fishing, which again, fishing will come into play with cooking, etc. I know there've been some comments saying that there are some weird jumps, which is very true. I read a couple of them while I was on holiday, so I'm trying to remember whereabouts they were. Oh yeah, so EB rules. What do you got for us? Won't apply until episode 5's out. 61 Chef requires 89 gathering, and ridiculously 86 Chef requires 153 gathering. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy. I mean, by that time, I'm hoping that we have a wide enough dice pool. Well, I don't know. Am I hoping that? I also just resize this. Hopefully it doesn't screw up the capture. I don't know that I necessarily want a wide dice pool. I think from a standpoint of working toward multiple goals at once, a wide dice pool is nice, but narrowing the dice results so that it forces us to get rid of some of those soft locks might be better. I don't know. Ultimately, I'm at the whim of the dice gods. And that is level 20 forager. We can now forage gray lice, which is awesome. That is our third level 20. Let's get that ticked on the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet immediately tells me, hey bro, you've got a KP to spend. So we're gonna go ahead and spend that KP now. Boom. New passive activity unlocked. And when we hit forager next, we will be we'll be doing that. So, you know, I opened the dice cam, but I'm realizing the time and the nice even level of 120. I'm quite happy to leave it here. I think we made a lot of progress on this. I think we came up with a good solution for how to handle an evolving dice table. I think I'll clean up column A here to make this a little bit more indicative of what purpose it serves. And yeah, I'm real happy with this. 120 total. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I will catch you in the next one. And yeah, until then, have a good one.